Morning, y'all. It is Saturday morning. Is this the 27th? Yeah, 27th of September in Quincy, California. Beautiful fall day. It was cold this morning. And it's going to warm up to the low 80s. And then we got a weather change coming on Monday. It'll be much cooler and wet. It'll be in the 50s during the day. High of 57 forecast. So I got to get ready for fall, going into winter. I got to be ready for the wet. I got to be ready for snow, and the extra challenges that creates. Although once the snow flies or the rain falls, I'll just have a fire going like all the time, and that's a big benefit to me. But what I wanted to get to this morning, sorry, I had a little sneezing fit a minute ago, so I'm still sniffly. It's like I'm always sniffly. Mocoso, they call it in Spanish. Snot nosed kid. I'm at Safeway. I was here late last night. In fact, I slept behind the store, in a bush, kind of. But there was a nice level spot. I had a big tarp with me. I didn't have any blankets, but I had enough layers. I actually slept pretty okay until about 6:30. And hidden. I like hidden. I like that it can't be seen. I'm surprised I hadn't seen that spot earlier this year when I was staying behind Perco's. But I did have my shopping cart at the time, so I had to kind of stay by that. But got the backpack on, having a brew doctor, a Clear Mind kombucha, has sage, rosemary, and green tea and mint. So it's pretty good. They're $2 right now. So a little treat this morning. I also had breakfast at Morning Thunder. One aspect of not having the ability to cook is everything's more expensive just to stay alive. So I have no qualms about taking advantage of the food bank and going to get donuts at church and finding free dinners, because I got to get prepared meals, 6 or 7 times a week at least. I've had 3 in the last 2 days. I had a little money come in. Thank you, Dad. What I want to get to. Everything is a test of faith. Every single decision is a test of faith. And let me illustrate what I'm talking about in this exact moment right now. Because, okay, I'm going through something that I think you're all familiar with, but I have to explain what's happening, explain it clearly. And I don't want to get too personal, people walking by. Mentioned that I had my bike stolen, my backup bike, my cruiser, the KHS Smoothie, that white bike, which I've complained about that bike, but I do like it. I do need it, not just to ride, but as a backup resource in a way for possibly it's an asset. It's to me, in my mind, that's $100 bill. I'm riding around on $100 bill. And in my lifestyle, $100 is typically a day of work. I can find some work. I'll usually make $100 in 5 hours, $20 an hour cash. Splitting firewood, clearing weeds, cutting brush, whatever kind of work I find. Although in Quincy, it's been very, very lean and very difficult. I had a $30 job last Sunday. I had an $80 job 3 weeks ago. Or actually longer than that. It's been a while. I haven't had paid work in Quincy, and over a month now. In fact, that's how I bought the white bike. It was with an $80 job. I got the bike for $40. Worth a lot more than that. So, currently, in this moment, on my PayPal, I have $110.84. And last weekend, I found that Miata road bike at the yard sale for my friend Jesse for $100. We shook on that. We shook on the $100 deal on that bike. It's definitely worth it. Front derailleur, the shifter isn't working on the front derailleur, but I can work around that. I can use it. It's rideable. It's my size. The tires hold air. 2 functioning wheels that have all the spokes. And it's fast, and it's my size, and it's beautiful. And as I build my inventory for my own shop, that's exactly the kind of bike I want to have. You remember like Velo Colt in San Diego? Sky Boyer and his wife Melody. I worked with Melody at REI, his wife. years ago, and they had this beautiful shop. It was Velocult. It was all real steel frame, old school. Like, this is the vision I've had, but mine would be more on the bargain side of things. Like, get you all riding on a good bike for $300 or less. Typically $100 bikes. So when I see these bikes around and I see the potential and I know what they are and I know what they're good for and I know their value. Just fix your shit, dude. That just blows my mind. You can drive around like that and get away with it. I don't mean to get distracted, but I'm trying to record a video and I got a Toyota 4Runner missing a catalytic converter that's loud as shit. So there's a reason there's laws. You can't just drive like that. I hate that I get so distracted by things like that. Noise. It's just me being an empath and an autistic. Noises bother me. Stupid noises that don't make any sense. I love music, but stupid noises that don't make any sense like that. It bothers me. What was I getting at? Okay. The reason I started recording, the reason I'm making this video, everything is a test of faith. So here's my test of faith right now. The other parts for my bike to make it run, the Trek, I need to get is $70.77 at the bike shop. Plus I need a tube, so that's another $9. So about $80. So that would leave me with $30, give or take, to get through the weekend or get through until I can find some work, get through until some other stepping stone comes along to help me out, or someone comes in and donates, or I sell something, or something comes through. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. I was told by my friend Tristan that there's someone who needs help chopping firewood or splitting firewood, and they pay $20 an hour. That's just a lead. It's not like, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. But here's where the faith comes in. How much faith do I have in myself, in my own abilities, and my wherewithal, and my communication skills, and my ability to go out and meet people and find work, paying work, when there's no evidence in Quincy that that's ever going to happen. The only evidence is in my head, my faith, the way things should be, the way things should operate. There's people who need help. I'm very strong and very fit and very skilled, and I'm here to help. The only thing that's keeping people from approaching me is that I walk around with a backpack, I ride a bike, and in this town, that somehow makes me an outcast. It's very, very strange. It's what's more strange is that all the people coming through town with expensive bikes on their racks, going out to the woods to play, they aren't infiltrating the actual town, or they aren't influencing the attitude of the town at all. Full stop. Like, I talked about this yesterday, Clash of Worldviews from Yuba Adventures Bike Shop, and me. I want to see people on bikes. More people on bikes than there are on cars. Right now it's 99-1 about cars to bikes. It should be, we can get to 9-1, 90% bikes, cars, 10% bikes. That would improve the whole town quite a bit. If we ever get to 50-50, this town would be a shining example of what bike can do for the world. So back to the question of faith. Faith. Everything being a test of faith. I sit here at the crossroads in this moment trying to decide, do I go finish the repair on my bike, even though they won't put the stuff together, and I got to make it happen on my own, and it'll take most of my resources, but I'll have $30 in my pocket to get through the weekend, and that's a little comfort. See, everything's on a balance here. You have faith versus security, faith versus comfort. Do you believe God will provide for you? Do you believe God will come through for you? Do you believe God will put people in your path to help you out and provide work and what you need? Do you believe you have the skills? Do you believe that He's gifted you with the vision and the wisdom and the intelligence and the strength and the health to provide for yourself? Or are you going to rely on human reasoning? your natural, it's just natural things. It's Ishmael. It's Abraham saying, "Oh, you never," and Sarah getting together saying, or Sarah coming to Abraham actually, Sarai coming to Abram at the time, I believe, when he's 86 years old, and they're waiting for this promise of a son and all this, and she says, "It's okay, Abraham." I don't know what his name was at the time. Sorry, I'm a Bible scholar, but I'm not perfect. She says, "Go take my servant girl, my concubine, Hagar, and go, do your thing and have a child." That's Ishmael. That's a child of natural thinking, human reasoning. That's not the child of promise. And this is the conflict that has been down through the ages. Abraham being the father of Ishmael and Isaac, and Ishmael being the father of the Arabs, still taken care of by God, still loved, but a cousin, or the redheaded stepchild, not a cousin, a half brother, sorry, to Isaac, who 13 years later, when Sarah conceived at 99 years old and had Isaac, and she laughed. And she laughed when she got pregnant. That's a child of promise. So faith, everything being a test of faith. Stick to the point. Don't go down 9 rabbit trails. Squirrel. Faith. How much faith do I have in my future here in Quincy? How much faith do I have in my ability to find work? How much faith do I have that I can get by on $10 for the weekend if I go get $100 cash back from my PayPal and go talk to my friend Jesse and just pick up the new bike, the third bike, start building my arsenal of inventory? How much faith do I have that I can get my white bike back without violence or without the nasty confrontation or without going to jail? Because those are the options at this point. I've seen the guy on the bike. I ran into him on the street. He's with a friend. I'm alone. I'm not going to pick a fight with 2 guys. And I don't like fighting. I don't like what I'm capable of. I don't actually know. I have strong suspicions, but I never have instigated a fight. I've never even retaliated when someone comes after me. I've protected myself, cocooned up, turtled up, and let them wail away and just take it until they're done. Because that to me seems to be the right way, the Christian forgiving, turn the other cheek way. So getting back to the faith, and just having this conversation with you and with myself, I've come to the decision that it's wiser, it's more faithful, it's more of an act of faith for me to put myself in a bit of a bind financially. The difference is about $20, which actually, to you, most people, $20, that's what you make in half an hour or whatever, an hour. And it's no big deal. But to me, $20 is like, that's a weekend of food, at least. That gets me to Monday comfortably. That gets me a bottle of sake and, something to smoke. A little herb to ease the pain, and something good to eat. Maybe a cheeseburger, some chicken, So it's a significant difference between 10 and $30. And so it is a test of faith. And that's the whole point of life. Our faith in this dimension, in this physical reality, this 3D reality, is being tested by the next dimension, which is spirit. Spirit is testing whether or not we have faith that it's real, and that's our true identity, and that's where we're going, and that we're held in the arms of Spirit, of God the Father, of Jesus Christ. However you want to conceptualize it, it's real. It's real, it's intimate, it's immense, it's everywhere. In Him we live and move and have our being. Now, if I have faith that that's true, I'll go get my cash and go get a hold of my friend Jesse and pick up the Miata. I'll have 3 bikes. I won't have 3 bikes. I'll have 3 under my care until Robert gets back to town. I'll have 3 beautiful steel frame bicycles, and that's a good start to a bike shop. And that's the vision here in Quincy, is me having a used bike shop, but a community bike shop, bike kitchen, gathering spot, place where we get together for rides, place that we work on our bikes together, place where I have racks you can rent by the hour and work on your own bike, place that you have to be the change. And so, as my faith here is being tested, I think most people would just, if you had $110, you'd go get a hotel room. In my situation, because I slept in a bush last night. But I don't operate like that. I operate by faith. My operating program is faith. Because otherwise, what's the point? If it's not real, if we're not held in the arms of grace and by the divine being that created everything, then what are we even doing? I don't want to be in that universe. I don't care. I don't like it. I like the one in my head. I like the one where everything's real. God is real. Life is worth it. And we're going somewhere. I much prefer that reality than the one of purely mechanistic, materialistic reality. And this is why when it says Abraham believed God and it was credited to him as righteousness, not only did he have Isaac 13 years after Ishmael, God asked him to sacrifice Isaac. So you never end. The test never end. This is why Abraham is the father of many nations. This is why his faith is legendary. This is why we are children of Abraham. And this is why before Christ, when Jesus was talking about paradise and the afterlife, he said, you either carried to Abraham's bosom like Lazarus, the beggar, at the rich man's doorstep with the swords the dogs came and licked, or you're carried to the other place where you're going to be very thirsty and in torment because you got your reward in this life. So Abraham believed God. It was credited to him as righteousness. I just wanted to put that together into a somewhat cohesive line of reasoning. I wanted to explain the faith struggle I'm going through, and I wanted to explain how I make my decisions. That's how I make my decisions. I'm going to get $100 cash, and I'm going to go get that bike. God bless America. Over and out.